Alrighty people, hello, I am Kurt, you are the audience, but you already knew that, so let's jump into what I'm making today, and as you can see, it's going to be the Ocarina of Time from Legend of Zelda. I have absolutely loved this item ever since I first saw it, and as part of my iconic items and weapons of TVs, movies, whatever, it's obviously something I had to make, so let's jump into how I made it. Like usual, I got a reference, but this time I actually tried to angle it so that, okay, maybe I can make it this way in the final product, but I'm trying to make it here and it just doesn't look good. Like, as much as I try and get it, it just didn't work. So I decided to go get a different reference, and here is the different reference I got, which is much more like that of the game. And I decided to get all the different parts right this time, so I went with the body, and then I got the general placement of the buttons. I can't remember what this part is called. It's like the part that you blow into. Either way, I did try and make that a little bit more balanced overall, because when I freehanded it, it did not look right. It just looked bad. I'm making that little band over the top, and as you can see, I did a little trick there, and how to get a perfectly equilateral triangle in Illustrator. You just create a hexagon, do every second point, and then it will create a equilateral triangle for you. There probably is an easier way to do it, but nah, oh well. I created that little arrow there to remind me that this is where the light is coming from, also to show you guys that this is the idea of that's the direction I want the light to be coming from. So I'm playing with this different lighting here and there. Overall, this is a very simple design. There's one thing that really annoyed me though, was this. For some reason I decided to try and make a rim lighting for each of the holes, and it just looks stupid, so I ended up deleting them and then going back and putting them on the correct side of the light, which looks a lot better. I don't know what I was thinking with the rim light, but I tried it and it didn't work out. And that's something I would recommend when making something. If you can't think of what to do, just create something random as an idea and then go after it. It may look bad, but you'll get an idea of, okay, that's not how it should be, this is how it should be, and then you can create that. Overall though, this design seemed to be very simple. It is very simple overall. So I'm just designing the last little pieces here for the little design parts on the band, but it needed more. So I decided, why not make the background a little bit more interesting? So I went to Google, went for references, and then I got this, which is the Temple of Time. I'm creating that little hexagonal platform in which you stand on to use the ocarina to open up the Temple of Time. I'm trying to design this little piece that goes in the middle of it, and it was just, it wasn't fun. It was very annoying, but what are you gonna do? But with it, it was actually really interesting to try and figure out the correct dynamics for this, because overall the shading, the transparencies, I couldn't find a way for it to look good. So I'm playing with like the oval piece here, the circle piece, which ends up being an oval because I just stretched it out and didn't notice it until later. But it didn't look right at this point. Like, I didn't want it just to be flat, so I decided to actually go into the extrude and bevel and try and make it a 3D layer in which the ocarina could float above. You can see here, I'm like, oh, okay, that didn't really work out. So maybe I can have different levels of depth that jump in and out. So that's what I did here. And now I'm just fixing that oval into a circle, which looking back on makes me very happy because that wasn't right. And then I also decided to make each of the different levels a 3D layer, so I could actually create different levels. So it actually had that 3D look to it, and there's just those little bit of embellishment through having those 3D layers. And once it was all done, it looked quite nice, I think. With the ocarina on top, sure, they may be differing styles. One's a very kind of detailed 3D, but one's a very simple thing. But overall, I really like it, and what I found with the background is if you choose a color from actually in the design, it looks so much better. Like, the background here is actually that of the inside of those holes. And overall, I was very happy with the design. I think it looks amazing, and I can't complain about it. So, thank you for watching. I've been Kurt, you've been the audience, and as always, go make something!